Newsom told me, Pritzker told me they were worried about federal agents showing up at polls on election day. It sounds like now there may actually be a plan in place to have some version of that.
Well said, Jacob. I feel like I've been hearing from sources just like you have for a long time that they're really worried and have been worried about an effort to kind of chill and frighten people away from the polls. And here we have two ways in which that looks like it's coming true. First, the issue of a broad national investigation of open and closed investigations into possible fraudulent voting by naturalized citizens. Let's break that down. When the HSI, which is the investigative arm of DHS, goes about these investigations, what do? They send letters and they conduct interviews with naturalized citizens asking them, when did you vote? When did you register to vote? Let me see your paperwork to determine that you're a naturalized citizen. It doesn't take very long for you to frighten somebody who's basically gotten through a legal asylum process and immigration process about themselves, their family, their status, and all of their friends, and all of their family members, and all of their community. This is viewed as a way to ask a lot of questions, stir up a lot of dust in 50 states, all led by the Department of Homeland Security. And then we'll see if maybe fewer people show up to the polls. The second part, which I'm so glad you focus on, is about armed law enforcement. We are hearing about a series of meetings, and we reported it first today for MS Now, that DHS and DOJ officials have been conducting over the last several weeks to basically plot and plan how to send armed law enforcement to the polls. As you know very well, Jacob, you know this material, it is against federal law to send the military or armed law enforcement within 1,000 feet of the polls in any way that would intimidate voters. This has been one of the biggest fears of Democratic activists and free and fair election advocates. And here we now know it's essentially in the works.
So, Trump will steal the midterms multiple different ways because of how hard it is to actually steal an election. Which is why, we didn't have previous widespread voter fraud. But I digress. So Trump will not only put armed agents at polls, and by at polls, I mean right at the 1,000 foot mark. This report that they will also look into the voting of legal citizens. For a long time, people have talked about Stephen Miller's desire to deport migrants recently made legal, meaning folks who have finished the legal process we required of them within the last so many years. How far they want to go back? No idea. But there is reporting that they want to denaturalize 200 to 300 people per month. So all those do it the right way, MAGA, is this what you had in mind? Will you quickly change that to, well, you shouldn't have made mistakes during the naturalization process? Trump will learn the vote that is cast by the migrant and by citizens, and they will punish in some way a big D Democratic voter. So this is the plan. This is what they want. They want to suppress and disenfranchise and ultimately steal elections.